And welcome back to the SpiffyNeedleGeeks playing Yokai Watch. We're off to Mount Wildwood to... So there's
the start of our adventure.
Yes. So before we do anything else, there's another random teddy bear. You know what that means.
Is that way we get to give it a hug?
I'm not sure if we want to give Babylon a hug because then he'll talk to you about hugs for like an hour.
Oh God!
You know, speaking of bears, Beware still scares me.
Speaking of bears, I get it.
I wonder how Bear's doing right now.
So what this Babylon is talking about, he's talking about, you know, the bug catching mechanics. So there is actually a place in a southeast uptown called Jungle Hunter, and you can go. I will be showing that off later, but you can actually go there to be able to trade in your bugs for rare items. So there is actually a point to the bug catching mechanic.
Oh, okay.
There are also rare bugs you can catch for even rarer items. So I'll be showing that later on as well. But now what Babylon is talking about is the Cranky-Kai. That was that machine that we saved Whisper from. We can actually go back to it and we actually can get other yokai from it. But we actually don't have access to it right now, so I'll be showing it off later on.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so the first encounter that we're going to get here in Mount Wildwood, we can only find in the water. And prepare to feel really depressed.
Why?
Meet Popsicle.
Oh. Someone give the little Popsicle a blanket.
You may not want to, it's made of ice. Poor Popsicle here is a rank E yokai from the Charming tribe. It's actually a very weak yokai, to be honest. Its only good attribute is that it's fast, but even Caden's faster than it, so that's saying something. When Popsicle possesses you, you suddenly feel really chilly and just very cold out of nowhere. That's effectively what it does. It is kind of similar to Slush, except Slush is an environmental yokai. It can affect anybody around it, whereas Popsicle can possess certain specific people. So there is a difference to their madness.
Okay.
And that being said, one of the reasons why I feel so bad for Popsicle, a lot of yokai, there are specific yokai who are yokai whose powers or appearances are dependent on their death when they were alive. So
wait. Oh no!
We found
this
poor cold puppy in the water.
Why?
I'm upset.
Just
what?
Why?
What are you saying to me?
We found this poor, cold, depressed puppy in the water.
Oh, that's sad.
It even sounds sad.
Oh. Oh.
I'd hug it.
I don't even care. I don't care if this yokai is made out of ice. I would still give it a hug.
You'd probably kill it if you do that.
What?
Wait.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, fun fact. Even though yokai are technically already dead spirits, yokai can die.
Oh,
I don't
come
know.
on.
I don't
really?
know what plane of existence they go to after spirits die, but you know, whatevs.
The same plane.
They go to double hell.
The same plane of existence that the dead people in Dragon Ball Z go to?
I don't know, but it's explained. We find out later on that yokai can in fact die, but you know they have a very long life expectancy. Like yokai can live for like hundreds of thousands of years. So.
Okay. In that case, can I at least just give Popsicle like can I just pet his head or give it a little pat on the back or something?
I don't know.
You don't.
Okay.
You can't feel bad for Popsicle and then deny all of Ryan's ways to want to help it.
Because all of his ways to help it will kill it.
Oh, so even if I were to slightly tap his head, he would just shatter into pieces. He's that fragile of a yokai, apparently.
I'm sure that's fine. But
okay.
In this case,
I was gonna say
the next yokai we can find here in Mount Wildwood, you can only find this in the bushes. It's a fat bird.
I couldn't tell what that was for a second.
Meet Peck Pocket.
Sure, that's a bird. Listen. Oh, never mind.
Peckpocket is a rank E yokai from the Eerie tribe. It's a pretty defensive spirit attacker. Peckpocket, whenever they possess you, give you the urge to steal. Peckpocket pretty much turns you into a huge kleptomania.
So not necessarily like Rough Raft.
No, Rough Raft just makes you a punk. I'm sure he'll tempt you to steal, but that's about it. No, when Peckpocket possesses you, you'll outright want to steal. You become full greedy. You just want to steal everything.
Well, you definitely weren't kidding about his attack power.
Yeah, and yeah, even that stealing is even reflected into its attacks. Its attacks involve draining. It even steals your health for itself.
So now you got me thinking. You got me thinking on this whole thing about how, how a lot of the yokai, like the forms that they take are based on, like, the moment of death and everything.
Well, actually, hold on. Like, before you finish it, listen. I love Peckpocket's word. Listen to this.
Peckpocket, what's yours is mine. Mine, all mine.
Okay.
Anyway, you were saying, Danny?
So, when you were saying how the forms that these yokai take are, a lot of them are based on their moment of death. Like the popsicle and everything. So it's like, So it's like, okay, Hungramps is an old man, Dimmy was a ninja. So it's like, okay, that, I can kind of see where you're coming from. So what about No Way?
It's also explained, we find this out later on, but there are certain objects that can become a yokai as well, depending on how old they are. They still just appear as normal objects to most humans, but when they are in fact yokai. That's a rarer chance, but more than likely No Way was just some random brick wall that I guess not really sure. In any which case, so now this is like the first true dungeon you can enter, that you can go to in the game. It's the abandoned tunnel. It's all the way in the back of Mount Wildwood, and this does count as it's a real dungeon. Like yokai aren't hidden; they're actually walking around normally, and they will come attack you if they see you. There is also a minecart puzzle. It's not really a puzzle per se, but this minecart here is broken. We need to find 3 pieces in order to fix it. We won't be getting that until like way later in the game, like close to end of game later in the game, I should say. In any which case, so our next new encounter, Cutta-Nah. Cutta-Nah is a rank E yokai from the Brave tribe. It's pretty much a bulky, like straight up attacker, and it is really strong too, like just about as strong as a Rough Raft. Cutta-Nah, when it possesses you, just makes you very lazy. Like you just don't want to do anything. It just makes you lazy. That's about it.
Oh, so basically, there's a Cutta-Nah in all of us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all 4 of us have a Cutta-Nah on our rim.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh wait, you know what? Actually, we didn't talk about date ideas for the previous 3 yokai. So Popsicle was
I was curious, like, what would Popsicle do anything with the first date or no?
Maybe just make you cold on the first date. But then you know what? Then your date can be a gentleman slash lady and give you their coat. There you go. Of course, if Peckpocket possesses you on a first date, that might be a whole different situation.
Yeah.
Hey, like you're at a dinner and the waiter gives out like both of your plates. You immediately ask your girlfriend, "Hey, are you gonna eat that?" Well, yeah. Oh, mine.
If it's a first date, I
just take the plate.
If it's a first date, I thought it's your girlfriend.
Or if your date has to go to the restroom and you steal her purse.
Oh God.
steal all the bread out of the basket.
Now you do like Sly Cooper and you bust into the restaurant safe.
Oh God.
And Ryan knows exactly where I got that reference from.
Of course.
And then if Cutta-Nah possesses you, I don't know, being lazy on a first date. I guess it depends on where you're at for that first date.
Hey, so hey, there's a baseball game going on. You want to go out to that? Yeah. Listen, I'm just not feeling it right now. I'm just too relaxed right now to do anything. So we'll do it like 2 months from now. Wait, but
I don't know.
What?
But yeah, I guess to try to explain your earlier question regarding inanimate objects becoming yokai, it's hard to say what really causes that. because like obviously Cutta-Nah is a sword, so more than likely that was an actual sword at some point. Hard to say what actually causes inanimate objects to become yokai, but who knows. Whisper, I think, actually explains it a little better later on, so we'll have to wait for that. But that was a blue coin. So coins, you use those on the Crank-a-kai that Babylon explained earlier. Depending on the coin, the color of the coin you get actually does determine what yokai come out. Blue coins will typically give you shady yokai. Well, not typically, they always give you shady yokai. So there's a color coin per tribe, effectively.
Oh, okay.
So now you see where that big A sign right there is? That's actually where the rest of those broken minecart pieces are. So needless to say, we can't actually go on that broken minecart until we're rank A.
Oh, so it's gonna be a long time.
Yep.
Nice.
Or at least he's polite.
You say that, but he's just picking his nose.
Oh, it looked like, I thought he was smoking something for a minute.
Smoking? No, he's picking his nose.
Oh yeah, Cutta-Nah is getting high.
It looks like it looks like he's pulling a cigarette out of his mouth.
No, he's picking
like,
his
I'm
nose.
Yeah, that's like
I was gonna hunt for yokai, but then I got high.
So anyway, that was all of the available yokai we can get up to this point. So now it's time to continue story.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So after you leave the house from Desmeralda, what you would typically want to do is talk to this guy next, and he's telling you about how there's been some weird instances going on with this intersection. So of course we got to follow traffic rules. Let's make sure that we, properly follow the rules. You only want to cross the street when it's green. Otherwise, you'll be jaywalking, and no one wants to jayrock, right?
Oh, lame. Come on. If this was GTA 5, you would be jaywalking the living fuck out of those roads.
If the people playing GTA 5 were playing this game, they wouldn't, and they found out the consequences of jaywalking, they wouldn't want to. But we'll get to that later. First, right now, let's get. You know what? I smell marketing.
Yeah, it's like.
Wait. There's another familiar face.
Did somebody order a mascot character?
Teddy, no, get out of here.
I mean, face it. Yeah, Whisper is supposed to be the helper, but this guy's the mascot.
This is our Pikachu. Except unlike Pikachu, he's pretty pathetic.
Yeah, Dio Brando, you are not.
Pikachu would have stopped that truck.
The world, Star Platinum, Shining Diamond, either or.
Crimson Red.
So, I know we weren't introduced to this character yet, but we all know who this is. This is Jibanyan. And, well, his first concern after realizing that we can see him is someone named Amy. So, yeah, So this is like the one time in the game where we really kind of get into the idea that yokai are in fact dead creatures. And Jibanyan's case is pretty tragic. He was a normal house cat that was hit by a truck and killed by a truck, and the last words that he heard from his owner's mouth were, "Hit by a truck? That's so lame."
Yeah, I definitely remember this.
I saw that part in the anime too. And does that ever get explained?
It does. Not in this game though. The anime did explain it. Now, I don't know if this is spoilers for the next game. I haven't seen anything on the next game yet. I'm trying to keep myself spoiled from that as all possible. But it does get explained. And because this game never explains it, I'll take the liberty of quickly summarizing it. Pretty much what really happened was that Amy was jaywalking across... Well, actually, no. She wasn't jaywalking. The light was green for her, but the truck was running a red light. And she was crossing the street to go meet up with her friends. Jibanyan here, whose real name is actually Rudy, kind of a pun on Ruby because of its ruby fur.
Oh, yeah.
Saw the truck coming, pushed her out of the way, and got hit by the truck in the process. Oops, I jaywalked.
Oh my god, actual consequences for breaking the rules in a video game?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So pretty much when Amy realized what happened to Jibanyan, she went into a breakdown because Jibanyan, or Rudy, was actually her mental health cat. Because, she really had no one to talk to about her own problems. She was always the girl who everyone went to her for her problems. Her parents would always fight, because of Desmeralda, actually. And really the only person she could really talk to about her feelings was Jibanyan. So when Jibanyan was killed, needless to say, she didn't take that too well. She actually, she picked up its corpse, crying over him. And what she really said was, I can't believe I let you get hit by that truck. I'm so lame.
Oh.
More than likely,
Yeah.
Jibanyan misheard her because, he's a corpse.
Well, that's also a common anime trope, especially when it comes to kids' cartoons like this, where it's there's always some kind of a misunderstanding. I mean, it's a very common plot line.
I guess.
Yes, needless to say, apologies if I spoiled something that was supposed to be for the next game, but it's never explained in this game, so I went ahead and did it.
If it's explained in the show, then chances are it probably wouldn't show up in the next game.
Well,
Because that whole thing took place in Arc 1 of Yokai, which is technically this.
Well, that's the thing. It's comparing the canon to of the game versus the show. I mean, how similar or different are they?
Some similarities, but
It's just told differently.
the show is full of skits. There's no real overarching plot. It's just a bunch of skits, whereas the game has an overarching plot. Speaking of its plot, so what just happened was we beat up these Ruffraff because one of them took Jibanyan's only treasure, which was a picture of Amy. So we had to beat him up to get it back for Jibanyan.
Hooliganism.
Oh, okay.
I like the retort to this. Yep. Got the photo of Amy. And then Spiffy is just like, isn't he already a hooligan? He looks like one. Wow. Oh no, I'm sorry. Whisper says that. It's like, wow.
Good job.
Lots of hair products.
Okay then.
Hey,
But
just
before-
because I have a ton of hairspray and shampoo for my hair doesn't make me a hooligan.
But we get stopped on the way out. Shit, the fuzz.
Quick, hide the drugs!
Actually, no. So meet the first character we can find in this game who also can see yokai. This is Detective Holdit, and he's going to introduce a new feature of this game called Yo Criminals. So randomly, you will see random yokai on the streets that when you get close to them, they'll run away from you. If you can catch them 3 times, they'll give you a random letter towards a password. Now they only give you 1 letter towards this multi-lettered password, so you'll have to share the password with your friends, or if you're like any sane video game player, just look the passwords up on the internet, and you'll get a trophy as well as a really special item. For the sake of the Let's Play and to not break the game too soon, I'm gonna only get a few of these at a time, just to keep it, kind of fair, I guess. I mean, there's really nothing stopping you from literally just looking up all the passwords and just getting them all right now and just breaking the game, but
Yeah.
that's no fun.
Yeah, I mean... Oh.
Would help for...
Never mind.
It would help for speedruns, though.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Final Fantasy VIII, where it's you use the internet to answer questions on a seed test to get more money really early on.
Yeah.
So it's yay!
Also,
my paycheck is skyrocketing.
Also, the Yo Criminals do expire. It changes, I think, every 2 weeks. So, every 2 weeks, we get a new password.
Oh, okay.
But in any which case, we have now returned the photo of Jibanyan's former owner to Jibanyan, and Jibanyan's really happy. Well, actually he's depressed because he couldn't actually get it back on his own. But you know what? We cheer him up. And as, the best that a 10-year-old girl can. Literally just like, you're not lame, so just get over it, okay? And that does work, because Jibanyan is just have the mind of a cat, so... Well, he is pretty, decently smart, I would say. But, with that, we have earned Jibanyan's friendship, and we now have access to Jibanyan.
Yay!
I love that.
Jibanyan is a rank D yokai from the Charming Tribe. Jibanyan is actually very fast. It's gonna be the fastest yokai you can get in this game, and it's also pretty bulky. It has to be from getting hit if it's gonna be getting hit by those trucks that often.
Wait, like the outright fastest?
Well, not the fastest in the game, but the fastest you can get up to this point.
Okay.
The game never really goes over this, but whenever Jibanyan possesses somebody, Jibanyan gives you the urge to, is pretty much the reason why people will randomly jaywalk, or why they'll randomly stop in the middle of the road, especially when cars are coming nearby. Jibanyan is pretty much the reasons why there could be near miss accidents, or if you're unlucky enough, well, just flat out accidents.
Oh,
yeah, in reference to the fact that, it got hit by a car.
Right.
Fuck, I got nothing for this yokai. God damn it.
What?
Yeah,
in terms of a date?
Really witty. There's nothing
Yes.
really witty to say.
Well, I mean, imagine I had a really good time tonight. Well, good night.
Oh my god, my leg!
It's like you're walking your girl home, and then all of a sudden,
you both cross the street, but then you randomly both stop, and that's when the car comes by. Anyway,
I guess it's, it's
Just
like,
the way that
that's
you
what happens
phrase
'cause-
that.
Yeah, because it's like I think like up until this point, this is probably like the one yokai that's had the most freaking backstory, and we've known him for a grand total of 2 minutes.
yeah.
Ugh.
In any which case,
Right.
now what Whisper's getting into now are yokai unity formations. Typically Pokemon logic would dictate that you want to have multiple Pokemon of various types to give you an advantage. Actually, Yokai Watch is different in that sense. It's actually better to have multiple yokai of the same tribe, because you get benefits from that. I brought up before how each tribe has its own personal benefit. And I'll go over those now, since the video is over. But you can listen to me ramble if you so wish. So, the 8 tribes. The first tribe we were introduced to was Charming. Charming is a speed-based tribe. Typically, the yokai of that tribe are fast. The Eerie tribe, and also both Eerie and Shady tribes, they both expertise in spiriting. Those yokai are pretty much, though Eerie more so works on status elements, while Shady more so works on stat inflictions. The Tough tribe are mostly defensive yokai. They have a lot of bulk to them. The Brave tribe are attacking yokai. They have a lot of physical attack. The Mysterious tribe are spirit attackers. They're the special yokai. The Heartful tribe are a bunch of healers. They gain healing bonuses. And then finally, the one tribe we haven't seen yet, but we will get, it's actually Babylon's tribe, the Slippery tribe. The Slippery tribe are really good at dodging and spiriting. They're also really good at dodging in general. Like, they're slippery. They're hard to hit.
So they've got high agility.
Nice.
And whenever you put 2 yokai of the same tribe, whether it's 2 or 3 at the same time, right next to each other on the wheel, they gain their tribe's bonuses. So, for example, if I were to put Caden and Jibanyan next to each other, they would both gain speed boosts. And if I were to put Ruffraff Ruffraff, Dilemma, and No Way, all 3 in a row, they would all gain a really high defensive boost.
Oh, damn.
So you want to keep tribes in mind whenever you're forming your team. So it's always good to keep yokai of the same tribe right next to each other, so they can gain those stat boosts.
Nice.
And also, they can only gain the stat boosts when all 3 of them are when all of the said tribe are in front. So let's say if Jibanyan and Caden are next to, they may be next to each other on the wheel, but if Caden is off screen and Jibanyan's in front, they won't gain that boost. They'll only gain the boost if both of them are actively fighting.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Alright, so with that being said, that will do it for this part, ladies and gentlemen. So join us next time. Now that we have Jibanyan, we will finally go back and take down Desmeralda and make and stop this spat between our parents. So we'll see you all then.